I'm very excited. I recently started my own business. It's more of a side hustle, but I think it's going to take off. Here's the deal. I can get you guys printer ink cheaper than you've ever gotten it before. Also, I've become amazing at stealing from work. I can get you guys Post-it notes, pens that stop working after 3 days, and a beautiful picture of Jan from HR with her wonderful family. She's got more. Hit record on my phone so I have something to listen to at the unemployment office tomorrow. I was at a job the other day. I was at a temp job, because that's the type of job you can get when you can't pass a drug test. And I'm up on this ladder. I'm doing ladder stuff, you know? And it's a real bajankety ladder. Like, it's only got 3 feet, and the 4th foot is just a rock duct taped to the last leg. You know what I'm saying? I get down off this ladder, and behind me, this new kid just runs up. And I'm like, hey, dude, be careful. You could really hurt yourself on that. And he looks me dead in the eyes. He's like, oh, don't worry. Not my first rodeo. And I was going to get mad, but then I thought about it. I'm like, man, are rodeos the only thing where you do them once and now you're an expert? Like, you go to your first rodeo, you look around and you're like, today we ride! You hop on a bull, it tosses you 1,000 feet in the air, you land, wipe yourself clean, you're like, you know what, we're going pro! Honey, dust off that royal, I'm going on tour with these guys. Doing it. Travel a lot for comedy. I recently traveled to California. I drove there in a van. I was sleeping in a van. I was living in a van. I feel like you guys knew that already just by looking at me. And I was all worried too, man. Like, I was worried, am I going to get there? Are these people going to be okay with me sleeping and living in a van? And then I get there, and there's 1,000 other dudes who look exactly like me living in their vans. I was like, did I die? Am I in some kind of weird vagabond afterlife right now that I didn't know existed? The check engine light came on. I was like, oh no, Hotel California is real. I'm never getting out of here. That's what we do. Judge people based on how they look, right? I do it. I hate the way people look. You know what I hate the most, though? I hate dudes' beards. Everybody manicures their beards so much. And it's like, don't do that unless you're actually an 18th century printing press operator. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know you, but you're not, okay? I think that's dishonest. My facial hair is honest with me. My facial hair knows I'm going to lose a job in 3 days. My facial hair knows the number to social services. My facial hair bought my van because it knew we'd have to have a place to live in a few years. When I'm not traveling the country, I live in what's known as a juggalo neighborhood. If you don't know what that looks like, it's a lot of leather jacket and basketball short combination at the same time. My neighborhood has what some people would call a drug problem or a drug solution, depending on what you're looking for. I don't know. Around the corner from my house, there's a locally owned, independently owned gas station selling crack pipes. Crack pipes. You believe that? Regardless of how you feel about that, you kind of got to applaud these crackheads for shopping local. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are beacons of the grassroots movement right here. I'm I'm not saying they're going to take down Amazon, but they kind of are real American heroes. I think all drugs should be legal, personally. I don't know about you guys. I think they should all be legal. Everything. Everything across the board. Everything from weed to glue. Just make it all legal. And if for nothing else, so I can stop buying my drugs from a guy with a whack-ass nickname. If you're a drug dealer, don't call yourself Mr. Skittles. When your name is already Isaac. That's a cool drug dealer name. I want that name. My name's Brian. That's a name you give your kid if you're not sure if you're going to keep it or not. And it's Brian with a Y, now you're going to homeschool a little son of a bitch. I don't have kids. You're welcome. I don't have kids, and neither should you. Let's be honest here, okay? Like, just stop having kids. There are enough children in the world. We have filled the quota of people, okay? Just stop having them. If you have kids already, get rid of them. We don't need them. Enough here. If you don't have kids, that's fantastic, because you automatically reduce your carbon footprint by 50%. That's awesome, right? All these people out here trying to save the planet by buying solar panels and electric cars, I'm just pulling out. I get a personalized letter from Jane Goodall once a month for my service. Kids are such a disappointment. You know? But it's not their fault. It isn't. It's parents' fault. But you tell these kids they can be whatever they want to be when they grow up, right? And then you give them absolute zero free will to make any decisions on their own whatsoever. You got a kid, 6 years old, you go on the soccer ball, say, here you go. You play soccer now. Poor kid's like, I do? Yep. And if you don't make the World Cup in 10 years, we're going to emotionally disown you. Deal with that. My parents made me join band because they owned a trumpet already. That was their criteria. Just handed it to me. They're like, I don't know, go be Miles Davis, I guess. Like, I don't think it works like it. I was terrible at it. My teacher would call me out on it all the time, in front of other students, in class. She'd be like, now, Brian, when it comes to music, not everyone is good. When it comes to trumpet, you suck! I'm like, lady, I'm 8 years old. I just figured out Velcro yesterday. Right? The next logical step isn't mastery of a brass instrument. Let's start with something easier, maybe like the triangle, huh? Just, I don't know. I don't know why people have kids. Because they're so mean to them. Every new generation that comes up, they're so mean to them. Everybody's still so mean to millennials right now, right? The truth is, every generation sucks. I'm from Generation X. Remember us? No, you don't, because we didn't do anything significant. Our biggest contribution was Fred Durst. You're welcome. Remember? We were going to save the whales and the trees, and then we just didn't. Instead, we just got addicted to Oxycontin. Started buying samurai swords off the television. Remember? Which is quite possibly the worst combination of things you could ever do. Let me see. I want something that can chop people's heads off, but I also want to drop it a lot. See you later, toes. Generation X. It's hard, man. It's hard being this old and being single. I haven't been in a relationship in over a year, and this is without a doubt the most money I've ever saved in my life. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, you know how much money it costs to find, have, and keep a human pet in your life? All right? You want to save a lot of money? Just leave your significant other right now. Just get up, whisper in their ear, I'm sorry, I have some things to take care of, and it doesn't involve you being a complete and utter drag on my finances anymore. See you later, all right? You will pay off your student loans in a single year using my method. I promise you that. I'm trying though, man. I'm trying to be in a relationship. Because I really need a solid emergency contact. As it stands, none of my current emergency contacts have a driver's license. Which I feel voids you from being an emergency contact. Because in the event of an actual emergency, what are you gonna do? That phone's gonna ring. You're gonna pick it up, be like, hello? Oh no. Brian was in a terrible accident. Hope he gets better. Click. You've done nothing for me. Thank you so much.